Good day, grade 5 learners. I hope you're well, healthy, and safe. Today, we're going to discuss a fascinating lesson about identifying stereotypes, which will give you a lot of insight on what people are thinking about certain issues in our community. And before we dive into our lesson, let us first set our expectations. At the end of this module, you should be able to recognize four common types of stereotypes: gender, age, racial, and social class, identify gender, age, racial, and social class stereotypes in sentences, and develop respect and tolerance on the perspective of others. Before we begin with our today's lesson, let us first have a spelling activity. Listen carefully as I read some words. Write the correct spelling of these words on your English notebook. Remember to write your words in small letters since they are all common words. Let us begin. Number 1. Experience. I believe that experience is the best teacher. Experience. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 2. Fiery. The sun is a fiery ball low on the hills. Fiery. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 3. Foreign. He somehow ended up in a foreign land after 3 days of traveling. Foreign. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 4. Gauge. Scientists can now gauge the star's intrinsic brightness. Gauge. Number 5. Grateful. I do feel grateful for all the help you gave me. Grateful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Now let us check your answers. Remember to be honest in checking your activity. Excellent work, grade 5 learners. Spelling is a wonderful exercise in helping you build your English vocabulary. And now, let us move on to our next activity. In the previous lesson, you have learned about the different types of point of view. Let us see if you can still remember them by doing the activities below. Read each sentence and identify the point of view used. Choose the letter of the best answer and write your answers on your English notebook. Let us begin. Number 1. You're good at household chores because you are a girl. A. First person. B. Second person. C. Third person. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 2. We can become fashion models if we are thin. A. First person. B. Second person. C. Third person. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 3. Brando's co-workers do not obey him. They say that he is too young to be their boss. A. First person. B. Second person. C. Third person. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 4. For sure, you are from Visayas because of your accent when you speak Tagalog. A. First person. B. Second person. C. Third person. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 5. Alberto must be a genius. He is studying in UP. A. First person. B. Second person. C. Third person. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Now, let us check your answers. Again, remember to be honest in checking your activity. Good job! Now, we are ready to move on to the next part of our lesson. Today, we're going to discuss about stereotypes. But what is stereotype and what impact does it make to how we view the people around us and our relationship with the rest of the society? Let us find out. What if you hear somebody say that boys should not cry or girls should only play dolls? Would you agree with them? Or tells you that mother should be the one doing household chores and father should be the one earning for the family? Would you believe that people who live in poor neighborhoods are all bad, unpleasant, and uneducated? Or somebody tells you that you will not understand the world because you are too young. Do you immediately believe that people are like this or like that without proof? What comes into your mind when you are restricted to do only what the society thinks is right? In our daily conversations, we hear some people describe other people. Sometimes, what they say influences our beliefs about people and things. Sometimes, they use descriptions and comments which are inaccurate, untrue, and unfair. Hence, saying that girls should be assigned to work in the kitchen all the time and that boys should be given the more difficult work all the time is not correct. How would you know if a girl also likes to work in the field or if a boy also wants to cook if they're labeled to do only the tasks that have been accorded to their gender? Do you think all girls would like only to stay at home and do household chores? Do you think all boys would want to work under the heat of the sun and carry heavy objects all the time? The descriptions are comments which contain a fixed, overgeneralized belief about a particular group or class of people and how they should behave is what we call a stereotype. Stereotypes may be positive or negative. It is positive if the description is a pleasant description of the whole group or class of people, while it is negative if the description is not pleasant. However, whether the stereotype is positive or negative, both are incorrect and unacceptable. In this module, you will learn the four common stereotypes. These are age, racial, gender, and social class stereotypes, which you will get to know more. The first is age stereotypes. These are erroneous beliefs about infants, children, teens, adults, the elderly, and others. An example of this is children are choosy when it comes to food. Although there are children who may be choosy, not all of them are like this. Another example of age stereotype is when you think that young people doesn't know anything about the world. Thus, they could not make a wise decision, and that old people are more experienced and therefore is wiser. Next is racial stereotypes. These are incorrect beliefs about the characteristics of a race. Saying that African Americans are the toughest boxers is incorrect, since we also have Filipino boxing champions who are among the best in the world. Another example is when Filipinos are sought to work either as nurses or domestic helpers whenever they go abroad. In racial stereotypes, we tend to generalize race by their physical attributes, like the color of their skin, the shape of their eyes, or the tone of their voice, without trying to get them more. The third is gender stereotypes. These are overgeneralization of characteristics and attributes of a certain group based on their gender. A good example of this is the role of girls and boys. Girls should only play dolls, and boys should only play trucks. Another example of gender stereotype is when we assign colors, like girls' favorite color should be light colors like pink, yellow, or orange, while boys should be dark like black, blue, and green. The last is the social class stereotypes. These are also inaccurate beliefs about the characteristics of a social class. Often, this is related to how rich or poor people are or what education and achievements one has reached. When we immediately ask a friend to pay food expenses because his or her family has a car is not fair. Having a car does not make one's family rich right away. Stereotypes do not just create misinterpretations. They can also create labels or tags that are difficult to change. Even if we realize that boys and girls must be allowed to choose what role they should take or do at home, many people, even parents, still want the girls to behave like a respectable lady, to be prim and proper, to stay at home, and to avoid talking too loud, but expect boys to be strong, firm, dominant, and smart. Knowing about stereotypes can help you develop respect and tolerance on the perspective of others. By knowing this, you will be able to avoid saying comments or opinions that may be offensive and also understand why some people are mistakenly labeled in a certain way. Do you have any questions? If you think you need more time to master the meaning of the four stereotypes that I just discussed, you can pause the video and return to the discussion. If you think you have already learned enough, let us go and answer the next activity. For our activity number one, identify what specific stereotype is illustrated in each situation. Your choices are age stereotype, gender stereotype, racial stereotype, and social class stereotype. Write your answers on your English notebook. Choices can be used more than once. If you think you would need more time to answer this activity, just pause the video in between each item. Let us begin. Number one, Roberto Agustin, a 59-year-old OFW, lost his job in Saudi because of the COVID-19. He returned to his hometown in Palumpon last summer. However, he has not found a new job since he arrived. He tried to apply as a carpenter, but the employers would just say he's too old and may not be able to perform his job. Number 2. Raynor, Sarah, and Taikus were about to go to the airport when they got stranded at the bus terminal because of the lockdown. After about a week without being able to change their clothes, they looked terrible and messy. When they finally reached the airport, they were not allowed to enter because a security guard thought that they were beggars. Number 3. We have a new classmate. His name is Edison Dimagiba. He wears eyeglasses and he carries a lot of books in his bag. I thought he was smart, but when he was asked to read, "My stomach is aching" yesterday, he said, "My stomach is aching." My jaw almost fell to the ground. I was fooled by those glasses. Number 4. Many shipping companies hire Filipino seamen because they think Filipinos are the best sailor. Number 5. Alfred was shocked to see his idol Zeratul, a giant wrestler in WWE, with some tears in his eyes. Zeratul was announcing his retirement. Alfred could not believe that a big, muscular guy can cry. For him, real men never cry. Time is up. Now, let us check your answers. Again, remember to be honest in checking your activity. For number 1, the answer is age stereotype. Since Roberto clearly is restricted from getting a job because of his old age, and some companies would tend to employ young workers who could work long hours and would be more able to perform the job well. Number 2, the answer is social class stereotype. Because of the way they looked, the guard made a quick judgment of them and could not allow them to enter the premises without even checking if it's true or not. Number 3, the answer is social class stereotype. Because we tend to judge that people who wear glasses are smart or intelligent because they must have ruined their eyes from studying hard all night. But this is not the case. People wear glasses because of poor eyesight and not because of their intelligence. Number 4. The answer is racial stereotype. Although it's true that many Filipino seafarers are commended for their work ethics, becoming a best sailor does not depend on your race but on how you work hard to do your job. And number 5, the answer is gender stereotype. Crying does not make you less of a man. If your feelings are hurt, it's okay to cry and show your emotions. Being touched with our emotions is what makes us humans after all. Great job! I hope you learned a lot more about stereotypes by applying them in situations. You are truly sensational. To fully integrate everything that we have learned, let us have another activity. You have learned that stereotypes may be positive or negative. For our activity number 2, read each stereotype carefully. Write the letter PS if it's a positive stereotype and NS if it's a negative stereotype. Write your answer on your English notebook. You have 60 seconds to answer this activity. But if you think you need more time to answer this activity, just pause the video. Let us begin. Time is up. Now, let us check your answers. Again, remember to be honest in checking your activity. You're doing great. You are amazing. Now that we are done with the lessons in our module, let us go back to important ideas that we should remember. Remember, stereotype is defined as a fixed overgeneralized belief about a particular group or class of people and how they should behave. The following are four most common types of stereotypes: age stereotypes, racial stereotypes, gender stereotypes, and social class stereotypes. Stereotypes may be positive or negative. It is positive if the description is a pleasant description of the whole group or class of people, while it is negative if the description is not pleasant. Knowing about stereotypes can help you develop respect and tolerance on the perspective of others. I hope you have learned something from our lesson today, and may you be able to use this knowledge to better understand the people around you. Learners, you have shown excellent performance and have proven to be highly productive in our today's lessons. For our final activity, let us have a formative test. Kindly prepare, once again, your notebook and ballpen. For our formative test, read each statement carefully. If the statement is telling the truth, write true, and if not, write false. Write your answers on your English notebook. You have 60 seconds to answer this activity, but if you think you would need more time to answer this activity, just pause the video. Let us begin. Time is up. Now, let us check your answers. Again, remember to be honest in checking your activity. Congratulations, grade 5 learners! You all did well in our lesson today. I hope you learned a lot from our simple video lesson. Thank you so much for being with me today, grade 5 learners. This is Teacher Grace, wishing you all a day full of knowledge and amazing learning. See you soon and keep safe.